Hey friends, I feel like this looks really dark. I don't know. We'll see. I'm in a different location from where I normally am. So, hey guys, this is Ashley at Charlie Rose Creations. Let me get set up over here on my iPad. Y'all, I'm pretty proud of myself for being on time, considering I had to like search the house to find my other charger. Oh, whoa, super close. To find my other charger because I knew I was going to need my iPad for like, to see the comments since my phone was going to be pointed down. And, yeah, it took me a hot minute to find it. So, let's see. Here we go. Okay. All right, so I'm sorry, it feels really dark. Normally I have a light by me and I have like a place where I can actually put the light, where it makes sense. Maybe that's a little better. I feel like this half is really light and this half is dark. Hi guys. Let's see. And I'm using my not favorite, like phone stand. It's not my jam. Oh no, I'm not plugged in. All right, hang on. Oop. Ooh, hot mess express over here. You guys, I don't know what is happening. I know I can feel like you can see like my double chin. All right. I don't know. There we go. That's all right. All right. I'm only going to talk to you so you can see. I just dropped something and now I don't know where it is. Yeah, sorry. I'm Ashley and I own Charlie Rose Creations. I make and sell glitter tumblers. And I also teach other women, there we go, how to make and sell their own. So today I've got to do a little bit of sanding. So I thought I'd show you guys kind of how I do that. I am also going to be hopefully applying some decals today. I know that y'all really want to see me glitter, but pretty much this month you're going to be getting like a look into what my life looks like normally. And so it's not all glitter and yumminess and awesome sauce. Sometimes it's not the not fun things. So, which for me is sanding and doing decals. Let's see. Adrian, I can't answer that question for like every single car out there because I don't know. I can only tell you that they fit in all of my cup holders and they fit in my husband's cup holders. And they also fit in my mom's because I've ridden in my mom's car. But I don't go anywhere else with anybody else, so I don't have any other, anything like else to compare it to. So, yeah, they're pretty skinny. Now I haven't tried out the 30 ounces, but they're smaller, in diameter to this. So they should definitely fit in the cup holders since those fit in mine. So, and they stand up if that's what you're asking, like, do they fall over? Again, they don't fall over in any of our, cup holders. Megan, if you chipped the paint, you're gonna have to repaint it in that area. Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna get started, I guess. Y'all, I gotta tell you, I feel a little awkward because I haven't ever made one like this. Like done this on a live before. And, yeah, so just bear with me through my super awkwardness. We've already seen a good little bit of it. So, so I will kind of show you, the gist of how I do things. Mona said that she emailed Irene, who is the owner of the Stainless Depot, and that the 30 ounce skinnies fit in cup holders. And they should definitely, yeah, because they're smaller in diameter than the 30 ounce regular ones. But I think what she was asking is like, do they stay standing up, instead of falling over? Oh, Yolanda, I'm so sorry about that. That's horrible. Okay, so I'm gonna point y'all down. So I'm using, my shipping station is like a multi-purpose shipping station. Okay, that looks decent with the amount of light that you can see. It's been used for shipping today. It's been used for doing decals. It's been all kinds of fun. All right, so I'm just going to start out with this guy. I think, no. We'll do this one. All right, so this is one. It was supposed to be a crayon cut, but she actually didn't want that. She just wanted to leave it like this and put a decal on it, which is totally fine. I just kind of do what people tell me to. And so I thought this would be a good one to show because I know a lot of you guys actually glitter all the way to the bottom. I don't usually do that anymore except for this design, this particular one. So anyway, I've just got like a sheet here. There are, y'all, there are a bajillion different ways that you can sand stuff. People are going to tell you all the different ways they do it. And yeah, so if you already do this and you have a way that you love, like, go for that. This is just, y'all, I'm a little lazy, so I do what's easiest for me. So, yeah. So this is 150 grit. I alternate between what I use. I usually start out with a thicker sanding block, but I'm out, so I'm just going to start with this. So I first, like, rub over this part. This is actually all smooth for this one, so I don't sand anywhere right here if it's all smooth. I'm just gonna sand here and around this bottom edge, and I just use this and then I just kind of rub it. This is definitely not like the most fun thing. If you're very sensitive to like things, this does put off a lot of dust. And I don't know if you probably can't see it on this thing. It does put off a good bit of dust, so you may need to wear a mask. So I just make sure I go on top and on the sides. And I just kind of rub it. This is super rough, not. And then that's pretty good for the top. And then I'll do this bottom ring. And this is one of the reasons why I have stopped doing it all the way to the bottom, is because this edge right here is the most obnoxious thing of all time. It does not, it just does not, yeah, it just does not do, just doesn't get as smooth as I would like. Oh yes, this will be re-epoxied because, and that's the other question I get is like, people are like, oh my gosh, I sanded and like it looks weird. Yes, totally normal because you're sanding it, you're scuffing it up. Just like if you sand wood, it's going to change the way it looks. When you re-epoxy this, y'all, it goes away. I sand almost every single tumbler. Very rarely do I have one that I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. Okay. So you can kind of see like how much I did there. So I go through little sheets a lot. You can also wet sand. I don't, mostly because again I'm a little lazy, and I didn't find a big difference between wet sanding and dry sanding, except that it was wet. All right, I got alcohol in here, like rubbing alcohol, not drinking alcohol. And I just put it on this little towel. And then I cup it so that I get all the dust from the inside. And I just wipe all of this off really, really good to get all that dust off. And then I'm just folding this up to make like a little holder. Some people have those that they like. When I'm doing this normally, I am doing this on my lap. So let me move this over, because I think this is the one I'm supposed to be doing. I haven't peeled this yet. Morgan, that was $150. I also have 220 that I've used and a 60 grit. You want the smaller it is, the smoother it's going to get. And then this is my transfer tape. This is AT65. AT65. When y'all can tell I'm almost out. Okay, I'm almost out. I bought this when I first got, probably about a month or so after I got my silhouette, and I got that 2.5 years ago. That's how long this lasted. I spent like $40 on this. So so when people are talking about how the Walmart stuff, the little contact paper you get is so cheap, yes, in comparison, it's super cheap compared to $40. But this has lasted me 2.5 years. I mean, 2 years and 4 months. So, and this is like the bomb stuff. And so now I bought the 12-inch one when I first started, obviously, because that's what I have. That's what I just said. When I buy it again, I'm going to get the 6-inch one. Patty, that's a great idea. We don't have rice here because we're not doing a whole lot of carbs, but that's a good idea. Just to buy one. And so I like dry fit this before I do it. That looks like a J. I'm gonna have to message this girl. So normally, so if you sell cups, normally I don't contact the people unless something crazy comes up. This lady I do talk to quite frequently. So, and I have been talking to her about another cup. And so it's supposed to say Tula. She picked this font, but J's and T's are super, super weird. This looks like a J, which I'm not, oh, Susanna's on here. So she says it looks great. Okay. So, but if you're unsure for future, you may need to message them. But since she's watching me, then she says I'm good to go. So I'm good to go. And I bought one of, if you have a silhouette, then you know that you got a little scraping tool. It's called a burnishing tool. I never call it that, but that's what it is called. It's about this big. It's so tiny. And so I spent money to get this one from Cricut, which is their extra large one. It was $10 and I had a coupon, I think, or I think that they were doing a Cricut sale at Joann's, and boom. And this has like been the best thing. I waited way too long to do that. Way too long. And so I usually hold up one side like this, and I kind of, especially on funky shaped cups like this one. So this is a 20-ounce modern curve. So it's a little bit of an odd shape. It's not totally flat. And I just kind of smooth this down and then slowly, And so like my transfer tape is actually crinkling up right here, and that's okay because that's not where a letter is. And I'm just kind of smoothing it down. I go really slow while I'm doing this. I don't just slap them on there because y'all, doing decals is my least favorite part. So I don't want to have to do it more than once. And it's so frustrating when you're close to the end to feel like you have to do something over. Oh, Amy says she got a burnisher from the auto parts store for $3. That is awesome. And then you just gently pull it up. And I pull like, I usually pull closer. I didn't that time. But normally when I'm pulling, I'm like kind of pulling it back like this and not like this. If you pull like this, it's like more likely to pull your stuff up. Okay. And I'm using AT65. It's the only kind I will ever use, ever. All right, and so that one's done. So this is a super time-consuming part that you never see. And it does take a while because you have to do, for each one, at the very least, you're going to have to do the rim. So that's something to really think about. And if you're not doing that and you're upset that if you're upset that your rim is rough, you need to start sanding it. So you can tell it's just a little cloudy now that I cleaned it up, but it'll shine right back up like the rest of it once it gets its other coat of epoxy. Because I seal all of my decals with epoxy. I am on my new shipping station, you guys. This is awesome. I shipped out some glitter today, and it was just, y'all, it was so great. It was so great. So I'm so excited for when I get to do, my tumblers, ship out my tumblers. Okay, I'm going to do this one next because this one's actually pretty rough. This has had 2 coats of epoxy because this part right here is very, very smooth. This is not, and right here is a little rough in a few places. So I'm going to do the same thing. And then I just try to pick, like this is already smooth. I've already smoothed this out. So I just pick the part that's got some grit left. And don't do like too much, especially when you're still learning how it goes. Just make sure you check it every now and then because you can sand this color away if you do too much. Rachel, if it gets rough or bumpy again on the next layer, it honestly depends on like how crazy it is, but I honestly haven't had that happen. If you're sanding this well enough, it's not going to be bumpy. Now, this doesn't get, for me, and I've done it a bajillion times, it never gets like 1000% smooth, okay? It may have a few bumps, and I just kind of deal with that. This is like nails on the top. How do you think I feel when I have to do all of this? I hate it. But I also like my cups to be nice. So sorry. And I do the least amount that I can because, number one, I also hate it. So I'm probably only going to do this one, and then I'm going to probably cut this short because it is not fun to listen to. And so I just double check. Okay, and so then I'm going to come right here, and I just kind of feel it. Amy, I don't wet sand just because I'd have to do it like in my sink, and my sink's not always clean and ready for it. And so I usually do this because it's the easiest for me to do right now. Again, if we end up having another baby and we're blessed with that, then yes, I'll start wet sanding because it does keep the dust down. And so now I'm just feeling the rest of it. just to knock those points down. Okay. Yeah, Nikki, you don't want to put water slide over a sanded part. So a lot of times I'll put water slide on the first layer of epoxy. But I don't sand it first. All right, so this one is ready. Yeah, y'all, please be aware that you can do wet sanding. And so if you do wet sanding, you can't just do that with any sandpaper. You have to get wet and dry sandpaper, and that's what this is. I got it on Amazon. It's wet, dry. It's wet or dry. And I got the 150 grit. I also have used 220, and yeah. Kim, yes, you can sand epoxy and then do water slide. Oh. What would I do if I needed to sand underwear up at the decal? The same thing. You can put the decal down over that as long as it's smooth. If you sand it enough that it's smooth, that's great. If you don't, then you'll just need to do another layer of epoxy. Oh, that's not gonna fit. Water slide paper is a special paper that instead of printing it out with your silhouette, you print it like through to your printer, and then you have to seal it, and then you cut it out, like cut out around your image, and then you put it in water, and then the paper or like the special decal stuff separates, the water slide separates from the paper when it's in the water. If you've broken the seal, you should be able to tell, because this would be able to come away from your the cup. Yeah, you can put photos on them. You can put pretty much anything on there. Do I reuse my transfer tape? That's hilarious. Yes. I mean, I will use that thing until, like, it literally just will not pick something up anymore. Like, I have them, like, over here, I have them, like, kind of laid out with the sticky part up because I'm waiting for, to be able to use it. There we go. And so this one is taped off down here, and so this is when I would retape it, if I can find where I went with my tape. There's no telling where that is. Okay, yeah, I would retape it, except I don't see my tape anywhere. I don't know, you guys, it's a hot mess express over here. Okay. Yeah, so here's what I do. So Sarah's saying that she pulled her tape off after an hour and that some of the epoxy still ran, and that happens to me all the time. Was this the one I cut? No. So what I do is I use a little makeup sponge and I put a little acetone on it. And while the epoxy is still wet and while it's still turning on the turner, I will take that makeup sponge with epoxy and with acetone and clean up any spilled epoxy. That keeps it from breaking the seal. Maria, I don't use the conical wrap. I don't. I mean, you can. I never have. Kimberly, I'll tell you, I've had the top rim break one time, but I knew going in, like I knew it was going to do that because it was one of those little 10 ounces and I put it on the fat football and the epoxy came down and it stuck it to the football. So I knew and it was so much over, I knew that when I cut it, it was going to break the seal, but I was just going to do another layer of epoxy on top of it to kind of help with that. But that's the only time I have ever broken the seal, ever. And I've told y'all 2.5 years, I've always gone to the top. Well, not always. When I first started out, I taped top and bottom. But shortly after that, I started going to the top. So, oh, Brianna, I'm glad that helped. Yes, Amy, that's so funny that y'all mentioned like the, somebody mentioned like a coat, thing, a coat rod, curtain rod, I don't know what it was called, and have like, your tapes on them, and I have stickers that I use and tapes, and I thought that that's, yeah, Sarah, so I pull the tape, and I go around and I pull all the tapes on all the ones. I come back immediately afterwards and clean up because it's not where it's like dribbled down. What happens is it seeps under where that, where the electrical tape meets up, where it begins. Jamie, I don't have enough room for a pegboard, and I was talking to Brandon about putting, Shauna had the great idea to get some melamine board, and then he could add this cute chunky frame because I'm all about doing extra. Yeah, no, Sarah, you got to do it when it's wet. You got to do it when it's wet. I have that. I've shown it on some of my things in here, but I can go live in the group or make a video to show you. It may be easier for me to make a video than to try to find time to go live. So. Oh, Cassandra, how funny. I love that. I love that y'all are getting to see your cups. Yeah, Phyllis, my husband makes them, and yeah. Let's see. Sarah, I wasn't doing that part when I first filmed the epoxy tutorial for the group. It's something new I've been doing. So I can make another video about that so that y'all can kind of see. And I need to post that. In the group for you guys to see. All right. So that's all I'm going to do because sanding is like somebody said is nails on chalkboard. Sorry. Hopefully it'll stay. It keeps wanting to like tip forward. I do not like the stand at all. Alexa, yeah, on average, because the price varies depending on the size you get and the glitter design that you get. So they range on average between 40 and 60. Where you go to order is you go to my website, which is charlierosecreations.com. Oh, good, Sarah. I'm glad I could help. I'm sorry I didn't make that clear before. Yeah. Phyllis, yes. My husband makes my turners. We don't buy them. Oh, do I prep them? No, I don't. Jessica, yeah. So honestly, it depends on the cup, on the order that I do it. But I at least do epoxy one coat. Then I do water slide. Then I'll epoxy over that. Then I'll sand. Because a lot of times I'll have to do a water slide and a vinyl decal. And so I want to make sure that water slide, sometimes it'll kind of bubble up in a spot and I have to like sand it. Phyllis, you can go to Etsy.com. There are lots and lots of different turners on there that you can find, and just make sure you read the reviews to kind of see what their products are like. But yeah, you can just buy one. If you're planning on doing it where you're gonna sell, if that's your hope, is that you're gonna love it and you want to be able to sell them, I would highly recommend go ahead and purchasing a multi one. A lot of them are not that much more expensive than just a single turner. So so somebody's asking about the charbroil motors not wanting to spin. So I've had mine, some of them are like 2 years old, because I think I worked for 6 months with no turners. I hand turned. That was not fun. So all of mine are fairly old, except for the ones on my new one, which is right here. This guy, this is my new guy. One day I'll have this clean, and I want to have a curtain that goes right here to kind of like close that off, so I'm like in my own world. But anyway, a lot of mine, I'll turn them on and you can hear the motor running, but it's not spinning. A lot of times if you just let it wait, or if you very gently encourage it to start turning and like kind of, and try to get the rod to spin, mine always start going. I haven't had any that completely died yet. Oh, Kelsey, we can, somebody told me one time that it sounded like whales, that my turners sounded like whales. I was like, well, who knows when I'll get Brandon to, I thought that Brandon was going to be able to have time during the Christmas break, but like we were just so busy and he didn't have a chance to do that. And plus he was working on my shipping station, and he built, it's not, I guess when I'm thinking build, it's like a big thing, but he made all the men in our family these custom wood cutting boards, and like they were just gorgeous, So yeah, so he hasn't had time to update those. Does anybody have any other questions? No, it's not dying. It's just making a lot of noise. I don't know. Can anybody write the website down? Let me see if I can do it right here. I don't know if Shauna's still on here. Let me write this down. Hopefully I spelled everything right before I posted that. There we go. There we go. There is the website. Yeah, no, I'm very fortunate that I don't have to do, oh, Colleen, you're so good, have to do anything. Okay, so we would do the sliding barn door, except, do you see how big it is? Like, it's huge. It's huge. And so on the other side of this, it's actually like the wall isn't quite as big as this. I don't know if that makes sense, because like something comes out this way and then something comes out this way. It's the weirdest thing. And so we can't really do a barn door because we talked about it. It'd have to be double barn doors, and they wouldn't have enough room to slide, because that would be awesome. There's another cased opening on this side, like right behind you guys. Well, not right behind you, but it's a huge one, but they don't line up. It's the weirdest. It's the weirdest. These people were not concerned about symmetry at all when they put this together. So, how do I get my decal straight? I don't know. I just eyeball it. A lot of people I know do like conical wraps or like use the conical tool on silhouette. I have never done that. And yeah, I'm not super, I just kind of eyeball it. So if I have something really big that I'm doing, if it's like a really big decal, I actually cut cut between the lines, and I do one line at a time. Yeah, that's a good idea. So all I was thinking about doing was, well, we can't do pocket doors because there's electrical between it. You can only do, from what I understand, can only do pocket doors. Because here's the thing too, you guys, we don't want to put a ton of money into this house because we're not staying here. And we don't want to put so much money into the house that we don't get it back. So what I was thinking about doing is just putting like a giant rod right here between this, and then just having like kind of drapes that fall down. And then this one over here, I would pretend it was like a wall, and then I want to extend my desk too. So this one I would actually go through so I couldn't cover up anything. I don't know, just random ramblings, I guess. My transfer tape is AT65. Like an A as in apple, T as in turtle, and 65. It's really wonderful. That a lot of different places sell it. Amazon's got it if you'd rather buy there. I purchased the 12-inch one when I first started because I didn't know what to get. And so I'm going to get the 6-inch one this time because you may need the 12-inch one if like you're doing big decals, really big decals, like for cars or stuff. I don't know, wall decals. I only do decals for tumblers, and so 6 inches is perfect. Yeah, pretty French doors would be really pretty, and that's what I would love. But they're really expensive, and I'm not all about, because the business would have to pay for that, and I don't know that I really want to spend that kind of money. So for right now, I think you will see, I'm sure you'll see it. We'll do some like cheapo curtains to kind of close it off. And so then hopefully it'll keep the dogs from coming in here. And definitely keep the kids. Most of the time the kids don't come in here, but yeah. So I use FX Premium Epoxy. Joyce, I don't remember where I purchased my transfer tape the first time. Maybe Sign Warehouse? I really don't know, because I was just buying from a bunch of different places when I first started until I could figure out like what I loved. And I don't remember. All right, so several of you have said that you've got the 6-inch and you love it way more than the 12, which is super awesome. That makes me feel a lot better that the 6-inch works, because I've only ever had the 12. And then if you still use contact paper, you know how annoying that is because it's so big. So that's good to know. I felt like I would use it, but okay. Let's see. Oh, Christy, I'm so glad you've learned a lot. Let's see. 2 sets for $250. Okay, Jill, I'll look on the Facebook Marketplace, but until I find something that's not budget breaking, I think we're going to use not janky, I'll try to make them look cute, little curtains. And I'll just use a tension rod, or I don't know what we'll do. But, Nora, you may like the 6-inch, because I've only ever had the 12, so we'll see. And refurbished doors. We actually have one here. We have like a salvage place. They go into these old rundown businesses and homes, and they resalvage stuff. And I love their stuff. But it's so expensive. It's so expensive. So like I found this door that I loved, and I wanted to bring home and replace our front door with it. But like, I just remember being like, that's what I was when I saw the price. It was way more than I thought it was going to be. So, Erica, yeah, that's probably a better idea to do the shower rod. And then that's the only place that we have that like does salvage stuff like that. But I love their stuff and I love going in there. But yeah, it's just, it's a little pricey. So, okay, guys, I am going to cut it short. Brandon is coming in. He's going to work a little bit in here. And I don't know that we have a Habitat for Humanity near here. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I'll definitely look for other options, but we'll do a quick fix to save my sanity. And then, yeah. All right, friends, I will see you tomorrow. I really hope we're going to be glittering tomorrow because I really want to get my hands on some glitter. But we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. And just know I always appreciate y'all coming to watch. And if you share, I really appreciate them. Comments, all of that. So thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.